so a gray will launch. But in any case, let's go through it. So you get a 5.1-inch display up front, 1080p, despite the rumors that we were going quad HD. It's also IP67 water resistant, so you see the water resistant cover, sort of the port down there on the bottom for the micro USB port. The volume controls on the left up top. Got 3.5mm headphone jack and the IR blaster on the back. A 16 megapixel camera. Got the LED flash. If you look close, it's got these other sensors there. That's because it has a heart rate monitor on it. We'll show you that in a bit. On the right, a power button, and not much else. So up front here, though, the home button now has a fingerprint scanner, which works with a swipe. And Samsung has a partnership with PayPal, so if you're checking out online, you can swipe the home button and pay. Up top, you've got a different user interface here, but mostly what we've seen before. With S Finder, though, you can search throughout the entire phone, so, sort of like a universal search, and then Quick Connect for connecting with your smartwatches, which there are a variety of here, if you can see. Otherwise, on board, you've got KitKat and TouchWiz, or Nature UX, if you will. On the left here, My Magazines. It's not fully working. I was trying earlier, but it doesn't really quite work. Go home, and we'll go over to S Health 3.0, and I can show you real quick the heart rate monitor. So we'll turn it on. Right. So, and then you just put your finger on the back. See, it's glowing, and it's keeping track of my heart rate. Do not move or talk, though, so I'm breaking the rules. But we'll let that go. In any case, quick look here at the Galaxy S5. No pricing or release date yet, but it does come in 3 colors, like I was saying. Gray, this gold sort of copper color, which is really nice, and then a blue version as well. So highlight features, really what you're looking at here is the home button, the fingerprint scanner. On the back, you've got the 16 megapixel camera, pretty sweet. It's got auto HDR, so like when you're focusing, actually I'll show you real quick, but when you're focusing, and we can't really demo it, but it'll do HDR live as you're taking a shot. So if it's really bright or really dark and you really want to see what HDR can do, you can see it ahead of time, as opposed to a lot of smartphones these days where you take the picture and then see HDR afterwards. That's a pretty unique feature. So that's a highlight. In addition to the heart rate monitor on the back, which is pretty sweet. KitKat, everything feels really, really fast. Under the hood, Snapdragon 800 processor. You've got 16, 32 gigs of storage, expandable. You can still pull off the back, even though it's water resistant, which is pretty sweet. 2 gigs of RAM, and then of course the 5.1-inch display with 1080p resolution, not too shabby. Feels really nice. It's light. It reminds me a lot of the Galaxy S4, but once you're like kind of playing around with it, you got a little bit of speed, even more so than you felt on the Galaxy